Hi, it's Denise with Ladybug Stampin, and I have created something that has been asked of me for the last 3 years. 3 years ago, I designed and created this cardstock cutting formula. I think is what I called it. And I was on vacation and on the road. I was in the hotel room, and it was on my mind while I was driving in the car. And then I sat at the motel room and came up with this formula. It has helped me so I don't have as much, cardstock pieces rolling all around, all the scraps and stuff, and then I don't know what to do with it. I'm trying to use it. Sometimes we end up throwing them away because we get such a big old pile of it. So I create this, but I'm not going to show you this today because the video is linked down below. But with that, there have been several ladies that have asked me, do I have a 12 by 12 version? Now, there are lots of 12 by 12 one sheet wonders, cutting formulas, how to cut a piece of sheet to 12 by 12 to, make cards and bags and different things like that. So I was like, well, there's already formulas out there to go with that, but I have created one that is specific to this formula. So it took me a while. It's taken me 3 years, but Friday, I was at work Friday morning, and I just, all of a sudden, it came in my head, and I know it was the good Lord above. He's the one that gave me this idea, and he's the one that's, finally helped me with the other. So it was on his time, not mine, that I come up with this formula. So we thank him for that. All right, so again, this formula and how I cut it will be linked down below, along with the PDF. But here is my 12 by 12 version. Okay, so this, again, has, like I said, it's taken me a minute. But what I've done is I've created different pieces that will coordinate with the cardstock formula. And then, of course, there's extra pieces that you can use for other size cards. Because even though I have that formula, I don't cut all my cardstock down to that. I mean, I leave, my 8.5 by 11 sheets for special things and for card bases. So, and I'm not saying that you have to cut all your DSP like this. If you want to, you got some, and when I say DSP, I mean Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper. But it'll work on any 12 by 12 piece of paper. So now what I've done is I've taken all this, and that way I can pull a piece from here and pull a piece from my cardstock formula, and then I can create quick cards. And I don't have a lot of waste. So what I've done, now you can see that there's a couple pieces that don't have measurements, and they're scrap. This is, of course, you're going to throw away. I'm not worried about that. But these pieces up here you can use for different things, like for flags or for just adding an element to your card. Okay, you can throw them away. That's up to you. But I've tried to get the most out of one sheet of 12 by 12. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this and see if I can get this right. I've already done it once and I messed up. So I'm going to try to do this again. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start first at 4 7/8. This is going to be our first cut. And you're starting with the 12 by 12. Okay, you're going to go up or down, depending on your trimmer. I love this trimmer. And I'm going to put this to the side. And then I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8. Okay. And then this piece then should become 3 1/4. And we will just check that to make sure it is 3 1/4. Okay, so it is. All right, now let me put these pieces to the side. This is the third, this is the second, this is the first. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this long piece, this 12 by 4 7/8. We're going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut it at 3 5/8 first. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, so that becomes 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Then I'm going to take this piece, turn it around, and I am going to cut off 7/8 of an inch. And I'm going to use this side of the trimmer, because on this trimmer you can see we go up to about, looks like 1.5 inches. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm just going to, it's easier if you work it this way than pushing this paper over here. All right, so go like that. That's what I love about this trimmer, is that you have measurements on two sides. All right, so then we're going to take this and we're going to go up or down. Put this to the side for just a second, and then I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to cut this at 4 5/8. Now you're thinking, Denise, I can, you know, barely see the design on that. And you can, maybe not on this particular front, but if you turn around, you have this side. Okay, so this becomes 3 3/4 by 7/8, and then 4 5/8 by 7/8. So we're going to put these to the side right here. And then I'm going to take this long piece again, and I'm going to cut this one at 5 3/8. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this should be now 4 by 5 3/8. And so if we take our 4, just line it up, and yes, it works. I'm so happy about that. This is the one, I keep forgetting to cut this piece right here. Okay, so then we're going to take this one, and we're going to cut 5/8 off the bottom of this one. So I'm going to go down here. Let's see, where's my half mark? Half, and then 5/8. Or you could cut it from the top, however you'd like to do. I just decided to cut it from the bottom because I wanted that look. Okay, then I'm going, so then this should be, what is this one? I can't see it. 4 by 2 3/8. So 4, okay, there's 4, and 2 3/8, and that works. All right, so that's our first cut. Now we're going to take our second piece that we cut, or the middle piece, and this is cut at 3 7/8. And I'll just show you again, so we just can verify. See right there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to cut it 5 1/8. 5 1/8. Right there. Okay. That becomes our first piece from the middle. And then we're going to take this one, and we're going to cut this at 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're going to go down 1/2 inch. So this should be 3 3/8. Let's just make sure. Yep, it is. I'm happy about that. All right, then we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it down to 3 3/8 or 3 1/2. That's what the other sides will measure. So you can do either or. I'll just stick with my 8s. So then this is 1/2 inch by 3 3/8, 1/2 inch by 3 1/2. Okay. Again, those can be used for flags. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to cut this one at 4 5/8. So 1/2 inch, and then there's 5/8. So this should become 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. So we've already checked that, right? And we know we just cut that. Then this piece should be 2 1/8 by 3 1/8. So let's do 2 1/8. Actually, it's more than that. Okay, I had to check on something on this one because this should actually be 2 1/8 by 3 3/8, but, and that's the way it should work, but somehow this is measuring 2 1/4, and I'm not sure why it is measuring 2 1/4. Actually, it's measuring, yeah, I don't know. This is supposed to be 2 1/8. I'm going to have to check on that, but I'm going to go ahead and keep going because I don't want to have to cut another piece of DSP. All right, so we're going to take this one and we're going to cut this one at 4 1/8 because this is our 3 1/4 piece. So first I'm going to cut this at 4 1/8. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this around and cut it down to 2 7/8. So right there. So again, that leaves us like a little flag or another piece to put on our card. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/8. And then turn this around and cut it down to 3 1/8. Okay, leaves this little scrappy piece. And then this one I will cut down to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and that'll kind of give us a square. So I already know that this is 3 1/4, so I'm going to turn this around and cut this down at 3 1/4. This gives us a little, again, a scrappy piece, but again, you can use this for flags or however you would like to do on your card. Okay, so now we can put our trimmer away. Now I have my cardstock pieces that I cut using my cardstock formula. And this is about how, this is the number of pieces you get. And then you get these 2 little scrap pieces. However, I do use these to go across my cards. So I do not throw these away. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for our 4 1/4. We've got one that matches this one. So this would go down to 5 1/8 by 4. Now I know it's in this middle pack because I have my formula in front of me. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay this right on top. And it fits perfectly. There you go. Okay. So I'm just going to remove this. I'll put this here so I know where I've got everything. I'll just put that on top. Might be easier. And this is our 5 by 3 1/4, which that would be 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And that was the first one we cut up here. So we'll just take this off. Again, I know this video is a little bit longer, but I'm trying to show you this formula and how it works. So that one's there. And then this is our 3 by 4 1/4, and this would be your 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. That was cut the first over here. And while I'm matching these up, you can use these for either when you cut your cardstock for your card bases, like was it the regular size of 4 1/4 by 11 or the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 with tent fold. I'm not sure how it's either the vertical or the horizontal. I'll just say that. Okay, so that one fits that one. And this is our 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So this would be your 5/8 by 3 3/8, which that would be this piece in the middle. And you're matching it up. There you go. And then this is your 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, which would be 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. So that would be this piece right here from the third cut. Okay, just lay this on top like this. And we are going to make a card so I can show you how this works. And then you got these two pieces. And yes, I did cut down some pieces for this. So this is the 1 by 3 1/4. So we would need 7/8 by 4 5/8. And that would be this one right here. I think, no, wait, this one go here. Where's that other piece at? Right here. It's underneath here. That would be this piece right here. I actually cut one for that too. Because on a card, you know, sometimes we do layers and we put a couple layers on our cards, don't we? So I cut that piece right there. And then this one should be my 3 3/4. No, not 7/8. That's my 5/8. Where's that piece at? Where am I losing these pieces at? See, this is why I tried to keep them in order. There it is, right there. See, you guys can see me trying to find a piece. Oh, because we had to cut this piece off. That's what it was. That's why it wouldn't fit. I have to make this 3 7/8. That's that little bitty piece that we're going to have at the end. That is literally like this little piece right there. And we don't need that. And it's okay. It's not a major loss. Okay, there we go. And then this one fits this one. There you go. See? And then you have all these pieces left. So you still have some bigger pieces. This one is, I think, 4 by 5 3/8. But you can also take this one and turn it and cut it at 4. So then you have a 4 by 4 square. And then you have another, what is that? 1 by 5 3/8. No, 1 3/8 by 4. You can definitely use that. And then you have this one. This is 2/8 by 3/8. Then you have this one, which is the 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and the 3 1/4 square. All right, and then all these pieces. So you can still use these and make, you know, cards with those. This just goes with my formula. And this paper is called Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, and it actually goes with this suite for the floral essence. Now this stamp set and this punch right here is not retiring. However, this Designer Series paper is along with a coordinating punch that goes with it, which is this leaf punch. It is retiring. As you can see, it goes with this leaf right here. So if you're wanting this punch to go with this, then I suggest go grab it. This is a great punch to have. It's great for cards, for leaves on cards. Great. So I'm sad about seeing that one go, but you know, with old comes new. So we're going to take that. I've already got some things stamped up, some flowers. And what I've done is I've taken this flower right here and I've stamped it in Calypso Coral and Flirty Flamingo, which are colors that coordinate with this Designer Series paper. Then I've cut some leaves that are in Old Olive. Again, it coordinates. And then my cardstock right here is Petal Pink. Or not, I mean, not Petal Pink. Is it Petal Pink? Yeah, it's Petal Pink. All right, so here we're going to start with one of our 4 1/4 by 11 pieces of cardstock. I scored it at 5 1/2. I'm just going to burnish it real quick. See, when you have all these pieces together, look how quick this card's going to take to make. Now, I didn't get a sentiment out because you can use any sentiment. I just kind of wanted to show you the base. So you just put this right here on here. And then you take, and as you can see, I'm not being really fussy with my adhesive. All right, let me take that on there. Now, the next thing you can do is if you can take one of your other pieces and you can layer it again like that. Okay, or you can save it for another card if you want to. You don't have to do that, but you can layer your cardstock and your design series paper. I wanted to show you this one right here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some adhesive on here. Okay. I'm just going to lay it right about there. Make sure I'm kind of even. Okay. And I'm not, because I had it sideways, because I'm a lefty and I have to see everything from a certain side, don't I? Okay. I just want to make sure it's straight. You know, on all sides. Okay, we're going to go with that. Then I'm going to take this and I guess actually I'm going to stamp you out a sentiment. I've used one of the sentiments from that stamp set. It says, all days are beautiful that begin with you. And I've put some dimensionals on the back. Isn't that true? You guys make my days beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down on top. That, I don't know, about right there. I don't really want to cover up my DSP. Sometimes I got to lift it up like this to make sure I'm going. There we go. And then I stamped out 2 of those flowers, like I said, and used that punch. And I've put some DSP on that. Now you can take your bone folder and like bring your leaves up like this a little bit if you'd like, just a little bit, to give it a little bit more, you know, dimension or anything. Then you're going to take this and I'm going to put this right here. Let's see, right here where you can still see the message. And then I'm going to take 2 of my leaves. I'm going to do the same things with the leaves I did with the flower with my bone folder. And then I'm going to take, let's get out some glue dots real quick. Oh, take this. And I think I'm going to put them right here. Yeah. And that's where it's stuck at, so that's where it's going. And then we'll take this one right here. And oh, we forgot to do our little leaves here. Real quick, don't stick on me, please. And I'm just going to put it right there. I'm going to kind of put them together. Okay, just making sure those are put down well. And there you go. You've got a quick card, and that's what it looks like. And we've used our DSP and our cardstock from both our formulas, and then we have these left over. You can take all these, and you can, when you get your, a pack of your designer series paper, and cut up 1 sheet. That way, you've always got enough to make cards, and you can make some quick cards with that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by today. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. I would appreciate that. And I will be making cards using these formulas now that I have both of them together. It'll be a little bit easier for me. All right, guys. Thanks, and have a wonderful day. And I'll have the PDF down below. You guys have a fabulous day. Thanks. Bye.